Today is June 9th, 2026. It is 4:34 a.m. This is video number 2. Video number 1 is on PYTE. They were a little bit more positive. Some posts about the Sussex's images the squad did, they were not that much. So I post that on PYTE. So now there's a little bit different topics, a little bit politics and some of the leftovers. So let's go on X to get started. All right, so I'm gonna start with this tweet. This is Scott Pelley. I've shared his videos many times. The commencement speech that he did recently at a graduation, where it pretty much highlight some of the things I have said in some past videos. Okay, so I'm gonna listen to this for the first time. There's no comment, or maybe they blocked the comments. Okay. Heartbreaking. Scott Pelley sounded like a man attending a funeral. Not for a person, for a profession. That's why his defense of journalism hit so hard. Scott Pelley confirmed on the record that CBS management ordered him to inject falsehood into 60 Minutes coverage. He named Barry Weiss directly. He said she was brought in to neutralize independent journalism inside the network. He told 60 Minutes new leadership she was murdering the show. Wow, that's in quote, by the way. Murdering the show. These people came to sabotage. Go in some past videos where I used to bring those past movies, the Incredibles, that, it's from within. They have to destroy themselves. This is what's happening here right now. Okay, where is it? Okay, murdering the show. Pelley spent 24 years at CBS News. He just put his name on the record against the institution that built his career. The Paramount-Skydance merger closed. The new ownership installed Weiss. Pelley is the most senior on-air voice at CBS News describing what's happening inside. This is what institutional captured sounds like from inside the institution. Okay, I thought it was worth sharing with you. 1 minute and 18 seconds screenshot, okay? But just listen.
I've never worn the uniform, but I've been in combat for this country, in Afghanistan.
The audio is messed up. Shit, that's probably gonna spend a good amount.
And Iraq, Kuwait.
You know what? I'm gonna record it separately and then I'll answer it here, because I don't know, something is happening with this computer. I'll record it separately and answer it. But the thing is that I don't know. You know what? Yeah, I'll do that and just let it play.
I've never worn the uniform, but I've been in combat for this country, in Afghanistan and Iraq, Kuwait, been shot at. Spent nights in foxholes, filling up with water in the desert. I'm not aware that the President of the United States has ever done any of those things for his country. Please correct me if I'm wrong. You become a journalist because you love the First Amendment. You become a journalist because you love the country. And while all the other descriptions that the president used about me might be applicable, not that one. There is no democracy without journalism. It can't be done. And that is why I am a journalist.
Now let's go to the next tweet. Shit, I hope all of my videos that I have to share with you don't play like that. Next tweet. Oh my God, this is another one. Or maybe it's just this one that they mess up. Come on, pause.
The facts.
All right, this is the next one. Wow. MS Now host Mika Brzezinski delivers a brutal reality check. She demands the media completely run over Donald Trump's lies and fight back with facts. I'm surprised. Well, when I listen to it, I'll see what she says. But if I'm not mistaken, a couple years ago, I used to give credit to her husband, okay, about how he confronted Trump, like during his first presidency. Then, when Trump won his second presidency, the 2024 election, her and her husband went to Mar-a-Lago for whatever reason it was. I don't know if it's to comply with Trump kind of thing. So, and I think I have highlighted in some of my old videos. All right. Okay, where is it? Trump lies and fight back with facts. She warns that failing to do so turn networks into nothing more than state-run mouthpieces for the administration. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. All right, 58 seconds.
We all must be more aggressive than ever in getting the facts out to viewers and go into every interview armed with facts, but also be ready to fight back and get into those clips. His lies must be met with facts, and lies must be run over and not allowed on decent broadcasts that represent journalism. His insults must be answered with the truth that he does not want to hear, and his cabinet's efforts to blur reality must be knocked down at every turn. The lies and we don't need to light our hair on fire, but we have to protect the truth. The lies and insults toward the free press must be answered. If we fail, we will be no better than the broadcast network and cable channels that act like the Pillow Channel, like nothing more than state-run mouthpieces.
Well, I guess people are starting to see what's happening. I mean, I've saw it from the get-go. And we have been warned by so many other Republicans who were part of his first administration. We were warned. Nobody listened.
Served as the chief of staff of the Department of Homeland Security under the Donald Trump administration. I would go into the office, I would read my intelligence brief, and then it was my job to help the Department of Homeland Security to keep our country safe. What we saw week in and week out, and for me after 2.5 years in that administration, was terrifying. We would go in to try to talk to him about a pressing national security issue, cyber attack, terrorism threat. He wasn't interested in those things. To him, they weren't priorities. The president wanted to exploit the Department of Homeland Security for his own political purposes and to fuel his own agenda. The California wildfires. On a phone call with the Federal Emergency Management Agency, he told FEMA to cut off the money and to no longer give individual assistance to California. He told us to stop giving money to people whose houses had burned down from a wildfire because he was so rageful that people in the state of California didn't support him and that politically it wasn't a base for him. The policies at the border, he wanted to restart zero tolerance and separate families. He said he wanted to go further and have a deliberate policy of ripping children away from their parents to show those parents that they shouldn't come to the border in the first place. A lot of the time, the things he wanted to do not only were impossible, but in many cases illegal. He didn't want us to tell him it was illegal anymore because he knew that there were, and these were his words, he knew that he had magical authorities. He was one of the most unfocused and undisciplined senior executives I've ever encountered. I came away completely convinced based on firsthand experience that the president was ill-equipped and wouldn't become equipped to do his job effectively. And what's worse, was actively doing damage to our security. People who are still serving in this administration have said to me, just wait until the second term. It'll be no holds barred. It'll be shock and awe. We'll do what we want. Given what I've experienced in the administration, I have to support Joe Biden for president. And even though I'm not a Democrat, even though I disagree on key issues, I'm confident that Joe Biden will protect the country. And and I'm confident he won't make the same mistakes as this president.
Oh my God. Donald Trump is the most corrupt president in US history. All right, so that's that. Next tweet. Now we're heading, it seems like there was oh yes, there was a wedding that went on, and these are some people heading to the wedding. Okay, is the yellow dress the ideal length for a wedding? I don't know. Oh my God, she can't even walk with the thing. I don't know. Phew. How was this the wedding of the year? With so many disrespectful guests, like if you invited to my wedding, either dress to the nines or don't come. Our genuine friends, mutton dress as lamb. Who she is? I don't know who she is. Okay, okay, they are English roses, you know. That's quite of making fun. I sent the longer version of this video to this person, all slight to behold. Facebook is gold for these videos. Okay, sure, if you are 17 and I remember wearing shoes just like that when I was 17, I'm 75 now, you do the math. Let's pause this. Who is she? Mutton dress as lamb comes to mind. English people have no sense of style. Clump, clump, clump. I don't know. That's my new thing here. I don't know. These people, no common sense. I don't know. My God. All right, next tweet. Laughing my ass off. Shut up. What is wrong with these people? A look of love. Is that what they're calling this? It looks like they had some sort of... Okay, I'm going based on this image. I don't know. Okay? It looks like they had an argument. Okay? It seems like was Beatrice. It's pleading. And then the guy, what's his name? Eduardo. Looks like he's done. I don't know. I'm just going by this image only. Oh my Lord. What's wrong with these reporters? Are they in need of a white stick and a guide dog? Look of love? Princess Beatrice and Eduardo Pelley. Princess Beatrice and husband Eduardo Pelley Mozi share look of love after riff rumors. Like I was saying, looked like they had some sort of argument. She probably pleading and he's probably saying, I'm done. Seeing all those mess that's going on, I call him out when I first heard of the wedding. Is it on this channel or PYTE? I don't know if I had this channel at that time. He left was it a fiance or girlfriend he had the baby with? Oh my Lord. She looks like she doesn't even know who he is. Hello, she'll be named goodbye if that's the best they can do. That's their way of saying it's over. That's what I think too. He looked like he's like, it's over. I'm done. I don't know. Relate to PNK. Festive glance. She looked effed off and he looked smug. She has the look of a certain ethnicity about her. Not sure which. Did you know her mother made many trips to Epstein Island? Epstein, that's an interesting surname. Popular in part of the Middle East. Favored by people who train dogs to APE prisoners. Not a name I would choose. I don't know. Festive glance. She looks pissed and he looks annoyed. Yeah, this person gets it. That's what I think too. She looked pissed and always like trying to plead. And he looked like, I'm done. Oh, I thought this was intended to be ironic. All right, let's go to the next tweet. It's an image. The squad be making many of these images. Okay, one comment. For Crown and Thorn, they play their part. Though duty may divide the heart, so once the tells, both all and grim, the crown comes first above all kin. The puppeteers and puppet of Windsor, all in the name of crown. Who is this supposed to be? It looks like Charles here. Charles, guiding Charles. I don't know who these are. These old royals need to wake up. This is the 21st century, not the 17th. The feudal monarchy are not needed and should be abolished for an elected head of state voted by the people. They'll find a way to corrupt it. Look, you know what might happen actually? You see what's happening in the US with Trump right now, the corruption and kind of thing. So if the Trump type of system survive in the US, this is what the UK will adopt. Okay? This is what the UK will adopt. They'll find a way to get rid of the monarchy, but still in the picture, but create someone to be voted for as a president or something, but still the system, the wealth, the corruption continues in the background. Just look what's happening in the US right now. If the Trump administration type of government succeed, that's what the UK will have. Okay? So far, I have not been wrong about any of the things I have predicted as my opinion, as my allegedly type of things. So far, I have not been wrong. I will not be surprised if the Trump type of government survive in the United States, the UK will adopt it. What's happening in the US is a test drive. They pick certain things, corruption type of tactic that have been played in the UK. They pass it on in the US to test it, and it have worked. Some people, even though I think the 2024 election was stolen to a certain extent, but they wanted to implement the Trump type of tactic, and for the thing that's happening in the Middle East to happen, and then for other countries like Albania type of thing to happen. So they needed the US to be compromised. So if it survive, the UK will say, okay, let's do this. Let's get rid of them and we'll do our own thing and make it work. Okay, so that's that. Let's go to the next one. This is the first time I'm mentioning this here. There's another image kind of thing. The Workshy Wells. William Games, another pledge. Kate bites nails up on the edge. Cash and headlines fill the halls. Welcome to the Workshy Wells. So there's all of that. Oh my lord, what is this? The accuracy is on point. This picture sums up their tax-funded mediocrity. Wasn't in one interview, William said that's what he does all day. He plays video game. There's the laugh here. People are laughing. Okay, next tweet. This is a TikTok video, Erica. Let me pause. Oh my god, this one is long. The truth and nothing else but the truth. Please click on the link. Alright, let's listen. 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Let's see if this video plays well, because the Scott Pelley one and the video that I'm recording right now was like buffering. So maybe Twitter did something to mess up the video, but I will record it separately and insert it when I'm editing. Alright, so let's listen.
Somebody wrote a book and they're using Harry and Meghan's name to serialize it. What else is new, right? But I want to ask a question, and I really, really want some feedback. I want some honest-to-God feedback. I'm so tired of you guys just dropping bullshit in my comments section. Like, let's have a real conversation so we can pick people's brains if you have one.
Yep.
This particular author, who I won't name, said that xenophobia and racism be down, that Meghan should have did proper research on the British monarchy, including Harry, before she married into it. And my question is, based on what medium? Based on the British publications, their view of the royal family? Because if Meghan would have done that, wouldn't she have gotten the same positive feedback that some of you are being brainwashed into? There was no stories of, Andrew being a pervert. There was no stories of Will and Kate and Charles and Camilla being racist. Like, there was just nothing out there that I feel like that Meghan would have been able to take this bit of information and go, maybe I shouldn't marry into this family.
Exactly. She's absolutely right. This is the thing for me. I am so glad that I did the research, those questions that I was asking myself, and went on do the research. And I'm also glad that I had the present sense to record it. I don't know why I did it, to tell you the truth. I do not know why I did it. When I create my channel, PYTE was the original channel, was for me to talk about US politics and a sense of the BS that I was seeing. And then for some reason, out of nowhere, I was dragged into the Harry and Meghan. And then I started asking myself questions, and I really do not know. I wish I had a plan to say, oh, I started to do this. This is what I wanted to do with this channel about Harry and Meghan. I had no clue about creating content about Harry and Meghan at all. Okay? I've explained this in so many other videos before. It's when the headlines were saying BS about Meghan. That's when I started looking. But for some reason, whatever research that I was doing, it dragged me onto the pedophile kind of thing. I didn't know anything about that. So, like what Erica's saying here, if Meghan decided to do research about the royal family, I don't know. How deep of a research will she have done? Will she have, things? But then again, those questions will not pop up for her, because it's the media who was writing negative things about her that made me look into certain direction. I don't know what was the first question that came up for me to look into it. For one, I know it has to do with Sophie, with being pregnant. And I was like, how come she's not speaking up when Meghan was pregnant and the media was saying all the stuff about Meghan? How come she didn't comfort? Pretty much I was saying why women in the royal family did not comfort Meghan. So if Meghan were to do a research on the royal family, would it have been the same thing that I asked myself, and then to lead in similar direction? Or would it be past history of colonialism type of things? So this is, yeah, she's 100% right, because the media was portraying the institution as pretty nice. They're not racist, they're not this, they're not that. So she is absolutely right. What will she be searching for to know about the family? The deep kind of thing, because Harry was looking for someone to to start a family with. And this is why he kept Meghan private while they were doing their courtship for how many amount of months. She got to know him personally. So she got to see the authenticity of Harry. Because if she had looked on the media, what nonsense. And then again, Meghan was in the public eyes. She knows about the media, the nonsense they write. So I don't think she will accept that. I don't know. I'm not Meghan. So Erica's raising a very, very good question. If Meghan had looked, what will she be looking for and what will she be finding? Because the media lies so much. They want to tell the public how nice the royal family is, but in the background is a different story. So what Meghan was seeing was the background of the royal family through Harry's eyes, his own version of himself. Because when you see the way Harry navigates now, okay, it seems like he knows his family very well, and to give them certain information about his life to his family, because he knows how they will react. So this is why he kept Meghan private and get to know Meghan personally, and Meghan got to know Harry personally. Otherwise, that would have been a union that would be a missed opportunity if it had gone the other way around. Okay. I hope I'm making sense, but this is kind of long. I'm going to move it back because I took a long stop, me ranting.
Stories of Will and Kate and Charles and Camilla being racist, like that, there was just nothing out there that I feel like that Meghan would have been able to take this bit of information and go, maybe I shouldn't marry into this family. Even if she would have read about Harry and all of his transgressions when he was younger, by 2016, he was rehabilitated from all of that. As a matter of fact, how rehabilitated? This was what was in the news exactly 10 years ago today. They had Prince Harry dating Ellie Goulding or whoever that is. Like, there was nothing that Meghan could have looked at from any lens that I just showed you that would have gave her a hard pause on all of this. And it's kind of ironic that only Meghan had to research the royal family, but not any of Harry's other girlfriends, right?
Okay, I think in one of the videos I did recently about the wedding that just happened with Prince Philip, and I said something, I was like, with everything that's going on now, this woman decided to marry in. So it's not a secret. So anything that happened after that wedding, it's not like she went in blindly. She knows exactly what's happening. Oh my God, Erica, I'm telling you, the squad are so freaking brilliant. I'm in complete alignment with Erica and this.
So what made them different than Meghan? She's an American. What could she possibly know about the British monarchy? The same thing I knew about the British monarchy from what we read in the books.
That's right.
And also possibly what we saw in the media, which, like I said, was not a honest view. Because here's the reality, and we all know this.
Well, at the time, maybe some people did. I'm speaking for myself in this lens, okay? This is me. I did believe them, okay? I did believe them. From when William was getting married, when they were showing him going to school, because I remember the ABC used to show him going to school and talking about, create a nice narrative about him. I did believe it. What did I have to go against it? I didn't have anything to go against it because not only I didn't really care, but they were showing it, so I bought it. I accepted it. It was until recently when I started doing videos, the headlines about Meghan. That's when I started questioning things. I told you guys I was in La La Land, doing my own thing, minding my own business, fitness, do this, go to work and that's it. I didn't have time to go into this. So she is absolutely right. They give us a picture and that's what we would have gone with. All right, so let's continue.
There is this mutual reliance that the media has with the British monarchy. You give me positive press, I give you access. And that access can be cash, it can be a seat at the table at a state dinner. We know how this works. So we were never going to get an honest view of anything behind closed doors because that media outlet, or outlets, plural, always made it seem like the British monarchy was the best thing since sliced bread. So great that even us Americans should automatically love them based on that.
And this is why I keep on saying, I used to hold them at a higher standard. And some of the nonsense, the noise that we're hearing now, it's like sandbox behavior, little kids kind of thing. We didn't know how disturbed they were. Okay, Erica, 100%. She's right.
So what would Googling anybody in the monarchy have done for Meghan to understand them a little bit better? Meghan had to get inside those walls to understand how chaotic and toxic it was. She would have never gotten that on the outside. You know it, I know it, everyone knows it. And if anyone was conned, it was Meghan. Because
and not only that, keep that in mind. The kind of thing we got to know about the royal family, besides the Oprah interview they said in that, but it's the royal family who revealed themselves, okay, because of the squad pushback. And then some journalists, royal rats start saying things without knowing that they're outing themselves.
The press and the media. And as they say at the start of episode 1, they say so many books and shows and stories have been written about us. We wanted to have our own say. And remember, the purpose of the PR office at the royal family is to keep the royals in the press all the time. So you have to remember, when I work in newsrooms, it's a fact that every anti-Harry and Meghan story comes from Kensington Palace.
But why
and if it comes from Kensington Palace, why are they briefing against their own grand.
Much of the negativity towards the couple is coming from within the royal family. The royal family and staff of the royal family are the ones that are very often leaking these stories to the press.
Okay, then the Oprah interview happened and things clear off because of the headlines that were being said about Meghan.
Meghan was conned.
Yeah.
I was conned too.
Yep.
Because I am one of those people that woke up bright and early to watch that wedding, saw Charles walking her down the aisle, and thinking to myself, oh my God. It almost made me forget they had a hand in unaliving Diana.
And the thing is that I even gave Charles credit for walking Meghan down the aisle. The image that they were giving us, how bad Meghan's father was, not really bad, but he was pretty much outing himself.
Photographs were a setup. I was set up by a guy named Jeff Rayner and another guy named Dylan Howard, who was with American Media, I think. And the whole thing was a plan to actually mess up the wedding. I was just part of it, basically.
The royals only.
But when Charles was walking Meghan down the aisle, I was like, oh my God, he didn't have a daughter. And look, he got a chance to do that anyway through Meghan. That was the thing that I felt about it. Meanwhile, we didn't know the backstabbing that was going on in the background. Princess Diana had said something in one of, it wasn't really, was it an interview or just a conversation with the coach, speech coach? She said something, there's a pull and there's a push.
It's like being sucked in, just people pushing and then people pulling, all in the same direction.
So you're being what, pushed by family?
Yeah, my family looked great, and so did my friends, and so did Charles's family. They liked me. They were very good to me when I was a guest.
What does that mean?
We used to change when I was a daughter and the positions changed.
This is exactly what the royal family was doing to Meghan. They're pushing, okay, telling the media to say certain things, and then they're pulling, pretending they are nice, they, you know, the pretense of things. Yeah, they definitely deceived Meghan.
But I actually thought, because now Meghan's going to be in this family representing country and commonwealth, that they're going to protect her because she has to work. She's now a symbolic figure in England.
That's what Meghan thought too.
I was conned.
Yep.
She was conned. We were all conned. And just like you all are sitting here acting flabbergasted that Beatrice and Eugenie are living rent-free, I mean, why are you surprised? Mm-hmm. Because the media told you that they weren't? Exactly. Exactly. Because the media told you that Kate and Will were paying their renovations out of pocket. You didn't think that $500,000 came out of your pocket to help that? Oh my God. Who told you that? The media.
That's right.
So exactly where could Meghan have went to get some facts and actuality about this family? She would have never gotten it. She would have never gotten it. She had to get inside and see for herself. And Harry had to see what she was going through and also come to an epiphany that he has been thrown under the same bus, even as a child, to say, we got to get the fuck up out of here. Because I can tell you right now, it's not going to get better and they're going to do it to our children. So yeah, we're not buying any books from any royal sycophants. Let's speak some facts and then...
Okay, and some other videos where I've said when they're writing those nonsense about Meghan, they're already planning for the future. They're doing things. They're changing the way they want the final. Whatever it is those white supremacists are working toward, everything that they do is working toward their destination. They're writing nonsense about Meghan. It's not for us now. We're here temporarily. Okay, I've said before, it only takes 10 years to ruin a generation. Okay, after 10 years, a group is gonna go and then they continue, they pass the stupid messages to the next group to continue the nonsense. And I'm very surprised seeing young royal rats in the UK, some in the US as well, okay, are carrying out this nonsense. They know how to manipulate the mind. This is why I said the UK is masterful at psychology. All right, the things that they've been writing about Meghan, it's for the future. And there's the squad. This is the thing that they didn't expect. The squad is doing the pushback, saying, no, what you're saying is wrong. So now when future generation is searching about Harry and Meghan, okay, there will be an asterisk somewhere, and then some of the squad stuff will come up. If any squad is, good in writing, they should write a book about Meghan, especially of our time right now, explain what's going on. All right, so there's some of the comments here. Okay, so I'll read all of it. Even Harry was shocked at the UK press and his own family reaction to Meghan and the interview. He said he tried to warn her, but admit that even he was not prepared for the onslaught of negativity and viciousness that Meghan experienced. No lie told. I've said this before, no one could have prepared any one of us who follow Harry and Meghan to the level of depravity in that family. How would Meghan have known that they will have tried to take her name off of her son's birth certificate? There's that as well. Oh, that she should be 50% less of herself. Of course, Meghan couldn't have known how depraved and abusive that family was until she married in. I will argue the writer saying otherwise is doing more harm than good for the royals, since what she's saying is that Meghan should have researched how awful they were beforehand. She is absolutely right. There was no way for Meghan to have known about the royal family before marrying into that family, into the family. All right, next tweet. She is absolutely right. There's no way Meghan will have known, because they paint a perfect image of the royal family on the facade, and then they expect the papers to write positive things about the royal family. Nobody's perfect. There's so many little things that they meaning the royal family, are yelling about, when it's like regular people will be, just let it go. It's nothing to even respond to. All right, next tweet. The palace press ecosystem has discovered that Meghan is the only figure who can reliably animate the royal storyline, and so they keep dragging her back into it, even when she is 5,000 miles away, minding her business, raising her children, and smooshing her prince. This guy have to throw a shade somewhere. But it's true though. The Meghan echo, the palace and press keep re-enlisting a woman they drove out. At least this is, the headline is true. They drove her out. All right, so there's that here. That's an article. I'm not gonna click on it. Let's pause this. Okay, it's only BS. This is so good. As ever, Meghan feeds the press. Meghan thinks she is a British aristocrat. Nah, you could finish with that. Meghan doesn't think what this nonsense is saying. She already told who she is. Let me block this so I don't have to see that again. It's just that people refuse to listen. Next one. People meaning the royal rats. The royal family may resent Meghan, but they also need her. She's the most recognizable, most globally relevant figure that's been anywhere near the British monarchy since Diana. New. The Meghan echo. The palace and press keep re-enlisting a woman they drove out. Okay, so it's making reference to that article. Okay, so she took some stuff. Is it bigger? Okay. The wedding car story is a perfect example of how the machine works. The family attends a wedding, a car is needed, the press, desperate for a hook, rummage through its Meghan's archives and find a photo of Meghan stepping out of the same car nearly a decade ago. Suddenly, the car is no longer a car, it's a relic, a reference, a ghost. The implication is that Meghan is still somehow part of the royal narrative, still tethered to the institution she walked away from. It's a way of keeping her in the frame without admitting that the frame collapses without her. The palace benefits enormously from this. The royals may resent Meghan, but they also need her. She is the most recognizable, most globally relevant figure that's been anywhere near the British monarchy since Diana. She's the only one who can generate international interest without lifting a finger. Even her absence is monetized. Her silence is spun into storylines. The family may not want her back, but they absolutely crave the attention she brings, and the press is more than happy to provide it. Kind of sad, to tell you the truth. All right, let's go to the next tweet. That was the only thing, the screenshot from the article. I didn't read it. Next one. Important information for derangers. Trolling children is bad for your health. Okay, what is this? Okay, so there's this here. As I've had a bit of accident and broken 8 ribs and 3 vertebrae. Oh, it's looking after animal, but hasn't checked bees for queen cells. And today they have swarm. Thought you like to see the video. Now just got to move to a new hive. What is this? Quite clearly an older, chunkier child. And the balloon picture, taller than longer legs. I agree, Tad. What the hell is this? Neither children are born. Okay, why am I sharing this? What is that? God doesn't like ugly. Okay, what is that? God doesn't like ugly. There's no point arguing with psychiatric patient. They lost their marbles a long time ago. I have never seen such abuse of 2 little children because they hate the parents. Karma will find them. All patient. We just need patient. Nancy Sickly so far has been my favorite. I don't know why I even put this. I don't even know this is about. Okay, so now I'm done with the derangers. A little bit of politics, so that might be part 2 of this video. Before we go to part 2, I'm gonna add one more tweet to this video. All right, so this is Martin. Workshy Wells, as always, thank you, my gal. All right, so what is that? In May, Kate had 26 days off while William had 19 full days off. Shocking. So how did Workshy and wife earn their £2 million in May? Caddy's latest comeback gave her only 26 full days off, which is triumph for her PR team, placing stories in the press. All right, so let's listen to him. Any comments? So there's all of that. So this will be in part 1.
Morning friends, happy Thursday, how the heck you doing? And it's that time again, it's that time when Not My King published the data and the facts don't lie, on just how little Kate and William worked in May. And it's off the scale shocking, and it's even worse than April. Kate managed to have, in May, 26 full days off. 26 days where she had zero responsibility as the future queen, the future unelected state. In May, 26 days off. William didn't do quite as well. He only had 19 full days off in May. And I don't know where you can get this work, but I'd love to apply for it, because I know some people that don't even get 19 days holiday a year. Never mind 19 days holiday a month, or 26 days holiday a year. Never mind 26 days holiday a month. The facts don't lie. These two do absolutely zero for the country, apart from taking money out of the economy that could be used elsewhere. My opinion's not important. Yours is. Comments are open. Let me know what you think.
All right. While he was talking, I searched for a prayer already. So let's read some of the comments here. What I think the government should do is only pay the royals for the actual work they do. No sporting events, weddings should be counted as work. The taxpayers will save millions. Wasn't William, was it president of Football Association? And then he removed himself, or they removed him as that, and he was placed as something else. I don't know. They won't get much, haha, 100%. Get rid of those lazy too, waste of money. Money could be better spent elsewhere. Martin, as always, you are 100% spot on. All right, so this part is gonna go, hopefully I remember when I'm editing, will be in part 1 of this recording. All right, so now let's do a prayer.
Lavanaka. It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.